The master plan, the grand scheme, invisible technology that you can't see, breaking reality down to the smallest levels possible, the very much spiritual quantum spirit realm, and the plan to free the army, the Revelation 9 destroyer, all through fallen angel technology and a mass manipulation on the public. Enjoy diving into all these chapters that were meant to be one when I made them. Experience them all at once and get the big picture. The quantum spirit realm, all this invisible nanotechnology, all this taught by fallen angel knowledge. Let's go all the way down the rabbit hole. You ever wonder what kind of spiritual technology the rich, powerful, and elite organizations work on in secret? Those that have unlimited resources, time, and above-the-law leeway. Welcome to DARPA, the psychotic invasive branch of the antichrist. Take 2. Top 5 bizarre spiritual technologies DARPA's working on. And don't worry, I won't mention the robots designed to consume biological material as fuel, or nanotech that's woven into clothing that's wash-resistant, and can either monitor or send frequencies to. Take 3. Since Project Pandora in the 60s, which used microwave radiation to control human behavior, extreme efforts have gone to get inside of the human brain. And they've been working on neurotech, which is basically a brain interface with robots. This brain-machine interface is the beginning of the cyborg generation, or fallen angels in robot bodies like the Transformers type generation. Among other spiritual tech, here's a few more. Check out the Smart Dust, the world's smallest commercially available RFID chip. Been around for at least a decade.
Smart Dust. So what is Smart Dust? Well, general purpose computing, sensors, wireless networking, all bundled up into millimeter scale sensor modes, drifting in air currents, flecks of computing power settling on your skin, ingested, monitoring you inside and out, and can be pulse powered by radio waves. It doesn't require a battery. You can literally scatter this stuff like dust or embed it into a sheet of paper. And you know what the really interesting thing about this technology is? This was commercially released 10 years ago, and you haven't really seen anything yet.
Or synthetic telepathy, which there's patents for. Sonic projector devices, meaning sound, V2K, which is known as voice to skull. Also, there's the realm of dream advertising, which also has patents and is something that happens. All these antichrist mind control patents. Take 4. CRISPR super soldiers. Genetics technology plus processing and rituals to create invulnerable super soldiers. There's organisms that thrive on radioactivity, and there's already been experiments to insert some of these radioactive thriving organisms into humans, as well as animal-man hybrid type of science. Various traits include heightened senses and tolerance, gecko-like climbing grip, breathing underwater, etc. There's implantable nanobiosensors. The idea is having biosensors implanted in the bloodstream to be communicated with from outside of the body or off-site, using radio and EMF waves. Scanning and reading biomarkers, probably monitoring everything. Probably straight on that one. And there's also the Avatar Project, which is basically uploading your consciousness. The alleged DARPA Avatar Project, a sentient world simulation run through a series of high-powered quantum computers. It has a digital twin of you inside of this quantum computer simulation. All for entertainment purposes, by the way. This is technology that can read thoughts in real time and feed them into the digital twin inside of the sim, to predict your behavior and see it beforehand, as well as outcomes in the entire world. And also through the principle of quantum entanglement, they can also probably use it to put stuff in your mind. And don't worry, these are just a few. I didn't even mention shape-shifting programmable matter, flying boats, bullets that can be adjusted after being shot, digital tattoos, invisibility tech. If you think all this is crazy, this is only what they've admitted to. Hence the speculation at the intro, what's being done in secret. In close, it's always been about getting inside of the human body, inside of the human brain. That's what it's always all been about. The fusing of these fallen beings taking over humanity. DARPA with the Brain Initiative, Neurotech, Neuralink Science that Elon Musk is working on, and a slew of other agencies besides just DARPA. You see what time it is. If you research into it, you'll see that DARPA and CERN are both connected to the origin of the internet, and also where this technology comes from, and how humanity is being baited and led into these scenarios. Into the endgame where it's leading us all. The full-fledged Matrix. Been the plan this whole time. The computer, this big box shrunk down to the phone, was always meant to go inside of your body. Think mark of the beast. And hey, they don't call it the battlefield of the mind for no reason. Make sure you're wearing your helmet of salvation. See you next time. You see how some of these letter agencies at DARPA, which in my theory are in direct relationship with these fallen angels, and once they get certain information, technology, or inventions, then they mass disseminate it out to places like Google, Facebook, Apple, etc. This is all one interconnected web. Enjoy all parts 1 through 4 of the quantum spirit realm. Do quantum supercomputers already secretly run the world? From a mysterious quantum computer named after a codename for King Solomon, to D-Wave's alien altar, welcome to Deep South, a quantum simulation of the human brain, except way more powerful, turning on this year. Maybe it already did. And probably linked with others just like itself all over the world. All for entertainment purposes, are we possibly looking at a quantum supercomputer brain system to fight against God, and possibly all of humanity, Matrix style. All of our collectiveness as one, the collective conscious Tower of Babel, siphoned in supercomputer quantum level mode. Combined through real-time updates of the collective quantum consciousness, all gathered and amplified by unimaginable quantum computing power. This is spiritual technology in every way, and paradigms of Bible prophecy. And where all this is at, could it be that all this is being orchestrated to strategize and war against God or the return of the Messiah somehow? The AI quantum faux God brain, a formidable competitor in the eyes of the elite. John Connor Terminator Genesis Singularity Antichrist style, digital version. Quantum science is in every way connected with spirituality. Ideas like manifest production observership, which is basically tied to ideas like sacred geometry, and creating things from the ether or at atomic, molecular, quantum levels of things, and influencing energy, and manipulating it to a level of manifestation. Basically ancient Egyptian mystery school teachings. Continued. To get an idea of what's at the smallest level, aside from oscillating fields of light, and how controlling things on a quantum or dimensional level are spiritual and can be better understood, check out this clip.
The universe has more dimensions than the 3 we occupy. They are hidden, folded up far too small for us to see. But we have the technology to unfold them. We summon energies you cannot imagine, and focus them on a single proton. When we unfold its higher dimensions, even a tiny proton becomes something very large indeed.
Quantum matter, building blocks for everything. Spiritual science is unleashed. Things the ancients were taught at the beginning from angels that descended from heaven. Fast forward to now, it's coming back around in deep ways. These are a few things scientists are already working on, like the unhackable quantum internet. They're creating quantum entanglement between everything. Real-time readings and manipulation through magnetic fields. And these things, to be demonstrated at the smallest levels, can also one day be done at mass levels, maybe even already. Things like teleportation, which has already been done, which also had a paradoxical effect that it really couldn't be measured, because measuring it seemed to change the effect. Observation changes the outcome. Aside from entangling everything together and mastering the qubit, quantum storage is done by frequency, which has a really interesting tie-in with DNA, which is also frequency, which will be another video. And it's all stored in frequency. Think words, keys, and tones. Also couple that with DNA storage, which is also happening. Sounds like we're all just a bunch of cyborg. The use of magnets and crystals are being used more and more in the quantum spiritual science field, with basically the main goal is to make everything run without being so bulky and run colder, because that's what you need to keep it in the quantum flux state that produces the quote-unquote magic. Princeton has already successfully been the first to self-induce quantum entanglement. IBM is perfecting qubit storage, and Microsoft is working on the DNA storage I told you about. And letter agencies with the first quantum logical qubit circuit, which is basically fancy talk for error-correcting code to keep quantum computers in the quantum state, as they get smaller and smaller, and one day probably trying to go into the body. Like quantum batteries, which store and distribute power on a subatomic level. All this microscopic, invisible, outside of the range of the human eye, spiritual technology. Things of science fiction and fantasy. Well, let's just say from Aladdin AI-run BlackRock world computers, to supercomputer quantum living brain systems, to daily public and private advancements in this field of quantum science. Just like this Alice ring, named for Alice in Wonderland, because, well, this thing's really about to go deep down the rabbit hole, especially next time, when we find out what all this has to do with the fractal matrix, phantom zone digital circus astral plane, DMT toon realm filled with psychonauts, joker entities, machine elves, and ultimately, the giant alchemy machine, CERN. Stick around, it's going to get a little extra dimensional. The fractal matrix is the bottomless pit, the literal no-bottom, infinite Mandelbrot zoom, astral plane phantom zone dimension. The Enoch falling angels, cutting of roots, DMT, digital circus ayahuasca toon realm, interdimensional portals filled with psychonauts literally mapping out this realm. A dimensional pocket filled with joker entities, machine elves, and Nephilim clown archetypal entities. the realm of ghost particles, dark photons, demon particles, and God terminology, and mysterious things called neutrinos. Things like observation, thoughts, and behaviors all affect this fickle quantum realm. And finally, what does the giant alchemy machine CERN, Nimrod, and the new One World Order have to do with all this? Well, suit up like Ant-Man. We're about to Honey, I Shrunk the Kid style examine reality. Welcome to the Spiritual Science Quantum Zone. All for entertainment. Enter at your own risk. The theory or premise of this thought experiment is that God disembodied and kind of shrunk certain beings into a phantom zone quantum state, an interdimensional prison, and a giant alchemical machine known as CERN and other CERNs are going to be used to help break them free. There's many CERNs, by the way, probably all working in unison, with the hemisync binaural earth grid manipulation matrix to usher in a new age. This and other key tech like human brain reverse engineered superpowered super quantum computers and other CERNs like Fermilab, Dune, and Trident, and other neutrino detector mega weapons, machines, all with a unified purpose, guided by off-world entities, with a new ruler to usher mankind into a new age. Probably why Fermilab has exactly 2,160 employees, and I have to let you know that it's that exact number. Numerology, ritual by numbers, creating a new age symbolism, antichrist age, the great work. CERN has been looking for portals to other dimensions, peering on the other side of the veil. They've already admitted they're in contact with something, plus the 4D ghost entity, and encoded terms like letting unknown energies through. Aside from terms like ghost, dark, demon, God, etc., my favorite, expanding on their unknown energies, is an official term called unknown unknowns. Yep, they plan on letting unknown unknowns through the veil. All these things/terms are trapped in the quantum realm. Think Ant-Man or Doctor Strange type of dimensions. They've deconstructed reality, and the Higgs field is basically like the canvas. And bruising the canvas allows things to pass through the veil, like piercing the veil, which ironically they reference in this Phantom Zone clip right here.
Do it.
Do what?
Pierce the veil.
Pierce the veil.
So bruising the canvas, piercing the veil, other dimensions, particles, beings, letting them through. You see the overall theme developing here. And this is just the intro. We're only scratching the surface. Stick around, we're about to dive deep into the mysterious dimension, full of fractals, geometry, checkerboard floor themes, gesture entities, exploring this realm, the beings that are there, and a lot more fun things in the Alice in Wonderland rabbit hole, known as the spiritual quantum realm, and how technology and science is being used to tap into that, movie style. See you next time. Examining existence at the smallest levels, things get really interesting. Through entity-guided occult science, the elite have deconstructed the molecular realm and the subatomic makeup of everything, at the very smallest levels to create, control, and manipulate it. Let's get a deeper understanding. Mastery of the quantum matrix, with the ability to quantum entangle anything at will, makes the impossible possible. When things are quantum entangled, reactions can be influenced at a far distance. You don't even have to be local. Think witchcraft, or MK Ultra, or levels of demonization. Also on a parallel, more use of magnets, crystals, and lasers in use of quantum physics technology. Think weaponized witchcraft. Mastery of the quark and quantum entangle at will technology makes something only appear as something when being observed. Now think about the reptilian conspiracy. Or shapeshifter beings, the movie They Live, or even maybe the nature of this realm. Or simulation-like trances like the movie Hypnotic with Ben Affleck. Or possibly even tying into the reasons we had bells to ring in the atmosphere that would possibly disable this frequency manipulation, see things for what they really are. All this has been demonstrated scientifically with things like the observer effect, the double-slit light experiment, Schrodinger's cat, all interesting scientific rabbit trails that prove this premise. Even things like Alice rings. Speaking of going all the way down the rabbit hole, this interdimensional spiritual technology of quantum computers actually run 1 degree colder than the universe, so technically it's kind of considered another realm. The slightest vibration, temperature change, or noise will snap it out of its fickle quantum state, which is what's responsible for all this magic. Think of the Mission Impossible room with any kind of disturbance, the alarm going off. This is all about being in more than one state at one time, which is what the definition of a qubit is, basically. Being in 2 states at once. Sounds like possession. Also, aside from set operations, what are these super quantum computers really up to, and who are they really communicating with? Or being communicated with through? Rabbit trails coming up about Google Quantum AI, and a supercomputer called the Beast in Brussels, which was probably fictional, but maybe not. At least there could be some truth to the basic elements of it. Future video plug. Now it makes sense with this need for super cold that some of these super quantum computers would be in Antarctica, possibly even under the ice. Maybe even the ancient ones that have been here for thousands of years. possibly even made from gemstone crystal computers, like the depiction of Superman's memory crystals, a giant under-the-ice computer system made from crystals. Crystals and magnets tying back in again. Quantum physics. Also in Superman, this quantum interdimensional prison realm is called the Phantom Zone, likened to a black hole, a bottomless prison for godlike beings. Sound familiar? And even referred to as a realm of fractals. Superman has other related messianic themes of a messiah, false messiah, the name El, also the S logo really being a dragon, and really the whole General Zod kind of being Nimrod trying to be freed from the bottomless pit, destroy your Revelation 9 style with an army, just like happens from the Phantom Zone in the movie. And speaking of things that, well, sound like fiction, there's actually something called psychonauts, which are basically psychedelic astronauts that are mapping out the entire DMT astral quantum realm. It's a literal realm with a map that can be reproduced that they've been going to. Also the same concept, but they're called dream knots. And they have letter agency, astral projection, drug-fueled up experiments that have happened. Probably definitely still going on. Also somebody possibly occupying two avatars at once or doing something in the construct that they're not supposed to gain access to things that they're not supposed to have access to. Hijacking the Matrix. Two avatars at once, think qubit. Two states at once. With this kind of manipulation, no wonder all the ancients are depicted with some sort of metal conical hat on their head, probably trying to protect their dome from some sort of weird mind control that's always around. Or maybe make their brain grow, electroculture style. With the intentional damaging of the Higgs field, allowing things to pass through from blocked off dimensions, things like the dark demon ghost unknowns, part of this science is anything that affects the field affects all the particles in the field. So think CERN messing around with all this stuff, and anything that it is doing to pierce the veil, bruise the canvas, or affect the field is actually affecting all the particles in the field. Think the human body. Unexplainable changes, feelings. Anyway, something interesting about the body and quantum physics though is called the Pauli effect, which is certain people have demonstrated an effect on technology, probably related to something in the microbiome in my theory. Certain people's biofield have a measurable effect on technology. Maybe a defense mechanism. Fascinating thought of the quantum microbiome and how the microbiome is tied into the spirit realm. Something we'll definitely be coming back to, including fasting. Interesting to see what kind of defense this human system will come to fight against this nanotech. The human system is one of the most amazing pieces of technology ever. The foundation's set. Now we're ready to go all the way down the rabbit hole into the fractal matrix and reveal the true identity of these entities. Maybe not what they seem. The mystery continues. If you haven't, catch up on my last 2 quantum videos. See you next time. Imagine this thing appearing before you demanding to be worshipped, revealing the mysteries of infinity, captivating your brain, telling you anything it wanted to, well, cause look at it. Also, is that the key to the bottomless pit in his hand? The key to a functional alchemical CERN finally doing it? Opening the quantum prison for the Destroyer and his army to literally, Revelation 9, open the bottomless pit portal to invade Earth and attack humanity? Are fallen angelic entities luring humanity into doing all the dirty work for them? To make it happen with this super guide technology with false promises, technology exchanges, demonic mind control, and Pandora's box-like temptation. The allure might seem mesmerizing at first, but wait for it. You see Ant-Man here stuck floating in the infinite Mandelbrot, bottomless pit, no bottom dimension, fractal quantum zone. The mysterious dimension full of morphing fractals, colorful matrix-like grid, jester trickster archetypes like Joker Harlequin type entities, and Nephilim clown archetypes with machine elves, and also toon-like entities, and smiling blades of grass. Speaking of blades of grass, let's go all the way down the Space Jam golf course rabbit hole portal, literally, with Bugs Bunny, Michael Jordan, and see where it leads.
The Alice in Wonderland-like interdimensional rabbit hole, the wormhole notable for the colors, the beings that inhabit there, amongst other reoccurring themes, like enhanced limbs or vision. Think about all the things cartoons can do, like their behavior archetypes, how they never die. Cool beings that know stuff, but then they're revealed for who they truly are. The astral circus realm, the deal with the reptilian head honcho, and then even the not-so-good end of that deal, where you're basically a slave forever for having enhanced abilities on Earth. The true identity of these beings are fractalized imprisoned spirits, just waiting for a functional alchemical key to CERN to make it all work, to escape the bottomless pit, Revelation 9 style.
These disembodied spirits trapped in the quantum phantom zone have some sort of link to the ghost demon dark particles we discussed and neutrinos, which can become other things based on reactions, spiritual energy basically. Think of a tulpa parallel, which is something that exists in the mind that can be manifested into reality. Existing on a level of spiritual potential, having the potential to grow kind of on a metaphorical level like neutrinos that harvest spiritual energy and can become things, thought forms, tulpas, maybe even physical things like parasites and other neph tech that we'll get into. The bottomless pit fractal zone where some spirits are imprisoned and trying to do everything they can desperately to escape, to convince humanity to free them or to grow on some sort of tulpic level. or manifest spiritually through tech we mentioned earlier, like parasites. Things like demon possession, the hitchhiker effect, other apparitions, which, by the way, we're being prepared for by the Vatican. Tie that in with demon face syndrome and you see what's up. Think about how neutrinos, parasites, and the microbiome all work on a microscopic level. Things you can't always see ties into the invisible realm of demons and the spirit as well. That's why there's always a link between parasite behavior and demonic behavior. And why Jesus warned of a certain species, that's right, a species of demon that could only come out by fasting and prayer. These strategies on a quantum level are like a frog boiling in a pot, updating very slowly on a quantum level over time until they grow at an unnoticeable level until they're too powerful to deal with. Also, the frog in the pot is another alchemy cauldron reference, changing things at a molecular level from one state to a next. Or if you're in the quantum realm, it can be in two states at once, the qubit. Think about possession now.
Third eye merged possession relationships with beings with red flag backstories, always seeking freeing, many species seeking a body, patterns of jinn or genies needing freeing, or aliens coming from dying worlds, all backstories that with red flags. Speaking of species, let's read Revelation 9 about the archonic locust demon soldier. That description sounds similar to the mantis beings in the DMT trip sleep paralysis phenomenon. People end up freaking around and playing quantum mind chess with a morphing fractal spirit. Could it be the same beings? Let's read Revelation 9. We see here a supernatural army with wings and tails headed up by Apollyon from the bottomless pit. We see a star/angel falling from heaven with a key to the bottomless pit, which he successfully opens, followed by smoke filling the whole earth, darkening the sun, and then the supernatural locust scorpion army led by Apollyon to torment men on the earth. Also interesting, this AI generator seemed to portray this army with the Nephilim clown archetype faces. Check it out.
Quick rabbit hole about possession. That word actually means demonized, and there's several levels of it, from straight up possession to oppression to being demonized on some sort of level to being influenced on some sort of mind-spirit level. But basically at its core, it's disembodied spirits trying to find a body, a host, just like a parasite, to fulfill its urges in. Not all spirits, but at least one group is imprisoned in this form in this realm. We know about others that are actually imprisoned underneath water, like the Euphrates River under the earth. Or like Azazel, video plug, who's also buried somewhere in the desert. But these beings always market themselves as whatever. Ascended masters, higher beings, your higher self, Jungian archetypes, just parts of your own personality, or friendly spirits or nature spirits, or spirit animal or spirit guides, or alien entities. Anything to hide the true backstory that they're covering up, which is why they always need us for something. And once they've used us for what they need us for, what do you think they're going to do with us? These and other dark entities are in contact with the rich and powerful. Things behind like CERN and NASA, all for entertainment, by the way. All to continue the Genesis anti-human, anti-savior of humanity conspiracy. By the way, there's all sorts of other dimensions and realms and spiritual places full of angelic entities, peaceful places like heaven. Things Ezekiel and the prophets of old have seen. Enclosed is the giant alchemy weapon, the modern-day Tower of Babel CERN, and related dark technology being used to open quantum realm phantom zone Nephilim prison portals, and free the Revelation 9 army led by Apollyon. Speaking of CERN and Nephilim clowns, it just so happens that the weird clown sightings, if you remember a couple years back and recently, have all been kind of tied in with CERN firing up. Could it all tie in on some sort of spiritual ritual level? Either way, the fascinating mystery of spirits imprisoned in another realm ages ago, communicating from the other side, leading modern science and technology and humanity to free them and loose them into this world, all leading to adventures for another time. See you next time.
Don't look back with regret, like where's it going? I'll be running through time. I guess it's naughty by nature, life is treacherous. It get the best of us, can even get the best of us. We all sinners, need Yeshua's hand, not to act a fool again. Party like a hooligan, thinking you Superman, shoot the moon, full shalom. What up to my Jewish fam? He fought on true Jacob, dripping like the jeweler,
like
man.
CERN, HARP, all the many neutrino detectors and DEWs of the realm, all connected to manifest the Revelation, Antichrist, end of time, apocalypse plan. Truth really is stranger than fiction, and certainly more entertaining. What if this technology fell in the hands of the wrong people? Which obviously it has, so. Will VR and AR worlds be used as mind control to imprison humanity? A literal realm akin to a manufactured spirit realm. Was this the idea from the beginning, and are there scorned evil genius accomplices with zero freaks to give who've actually considered this?
I was really angry, and I was going to use all of the knowledge that I had, and I was going to destroy mankind.
He's definitely not kidding. And a 33-year-old movie plot seems to think so. Not even really the movies, but ideas from ancient secret societies kind of weaving its way in fiction and other places. Probably why there's Masonic symbolism throughout. Let's dig in. Quotes include, "Virtual reality holds the key to the evolution of humankind. Becoming one with fellow man, this is true spirituality. Connecting to the collective consciousness idea." Which is this antichrist plan, which he's quoted as saying, "In the final days, the material world will fade away and only cyberspace will be all that remains. The womb of cyberspace is a chance for a new beginning, where we can live in Eden without fear, without famine. With me, you will find refuge." This is the VR faux spirit realm antichrist prison for humanity matrix plan. The idea comes from elite manifestos and ancient tech from fallen angels. The idea of putting your consciousness in the neural net forever. The final stage of evolution, becoming pure energy. Becoming one with spirits through technology. Joining ancient spirits through the resurrection of ancient alchemical technology and sorcery processes. Also be on the lookout for the merging of AI, robotics, quantum computing, and the human body, transhumanism. Basically the ideas of transformers. This whole idea really started with computers and video games, leading to brain interfacing technologies, and neural links, all the foundation for a matrix prison. Fast forward to today where there's mind control AirPods that monitor brainwaves, no doubt with reverse technology to put stuff in as well. Neuralink, Google Glasses. Also, supposedly there was a Neuralink malfunction, which, whether there was or not, that's exactly what will happen with the Mark of the Beast. You'll see everyone that receives the Mark of the Beast receives a grievous sore. Also sounds like the final empire Daniel mentioned, iron mixing with clay, but it won't mix together. This is the whole transhumanism fallen angel agenda. The final VR, AR, technocracy of mankind. Also, another recent movie plot from Atlas had the idea of a Neuralink being used when an AI humanoid went rogue, an anti-human, and used Neuralink to reprogram himself and attack humanity. And the idea that anyone quantum entangled with this system, this Antichrist beast technocracy internet system, would also be completely taken over by the head hive mind of this whole thing. Quantum entangled, merged, synced up beast system. One evil AI hive mind controlled populace. Techno nano zombie, lifetime synchronized attacks. Of course, like always, there's the occult connection with tons of uses of sigils throughout, especially as use of a passcode to access this virtual reality cyberspace world, which fits right into the reality of sigils as a form of access. And you even see how sigils, circuit boards, electrical symbols, emojis, and most technologies are all based on these same things. More on that to come. This 33-year-old VR movie also shows themes of Earth being trapped in a cube, which you see in esoteric studies. Another theme is using ancient alchemy and technology to unlock parts of the human brain, which you see repeated throughout history and modern day referred to as the third eye. Remember, they said VR holds the key to the evolution of humankind in opening the mind. Studies show how much this stuff actually does change the brain if you look into it. But aside from that, this process of opening the third eye, which isn't an eye by the way, it's a matrix, a womb, for another fallen entity to completely letting a spirit being enter and merge and become one with your Holy of Holies. Evolution of the human mind, the third eye, electrical stimulation to the brain, Ankhs in ancient Egypt, plus the idea of the net also stemming and inherited in ancient Egyptian mystery schools and then passed on through secret societies. Virtual reality is not just a simulation, it's a whole actual other dimension. This is what the whole meta world is leading to. You've seen this in the progressive stages for movies like Ready Player One. Fast forward to the movie Surrogates, where they just stay in their pods all day basically. Fast forward to the final form, the full-fledged Matrix, Neo style. These virtual realms are a faux counterfeit phantom zone prison for humans. Video plug on the spirit phantom realm, check out my page. But from the beginning, the idea of this technology, which comes from the fallen, is to enslave mankind. Well, good thing there's not super bitter evil geniuses with literal plans to destroy mankind, who also has VR and AR patents.
I was really angry, and I was going to use all of the knowledge that I had, and I was going to destroy mankind.
Oh my God, right out of Marvel.
I was like, yeah, I was about to, but then...
Well, I'm glad you didn't.
Pull up my World of Windows patent. I think it's one of the first patents up there. I want you to see where your AR VR world came from. And you look at the list of companies that has cited, and didn't just cite it, they built their entire AR VR world off of my World of Windows patent. Can you pull that up, Jamie?
Well, no, I don't think he's the Antichrist, and you can take that clip out, it's not essential for the point. But it does demonstrate why some people just go completely rogue and evil, and then why they want to just terminate humanity, basically. Plus the lure of false promises and other traps and entrances of the spirit world. Remember, evil will always try, and certain things must happen, because it's written. But what's also written is in the end, Revelation 22. Evil is vanquished, good wins, and those who endure are at peace. Hope you count yourself amongst those. Follow Yeshua in the red letters. See you next time. The literal matrix, trading real for fake. Trading you for the digital counterfeit you. Trading all your real possessions for digital and counterfeit stuff. It's all underway. But just remember, we're going to unpod. We're going to get up out this matrix and go through the door, Yeshua. Follow the red letters, all the way to the exit. See you next time. Savage Truth.
Yo, I've been running like a marathon, staring off into space, carry on while they tarry on, turn your McLaren on, we ain't got a clue why people hear what's wrong, pray in Jesus' name, throw the cherry on, whip it, steering on, still they get the carrying on, we go the extra mile, go the distance, be the paragon, throw your forces on, but don't wear them wrong, midnight marauders come, but my tribe keep enduring on, marathon, Mario, cardio, swerving on these Charlotte roads, time where's it gone, only tomorrow knows, we all on borrowed time anyway, so the party goes, on and on until your body goes out of time. Back to the Father, throw on your Marty clothes. Life hardly closed, set it off, dominoes. We just getting started when we cross over the crossroads. Through time like a marathon. God calling, can you hear a song? Don't look back with regret like where it's gone. I'll be running through time. Through time like a marathon. God calling, can you hear a song? Don't look back with regret like where's it gone? I'll be running through time. I guess it's naughty by nature, life is treacherous.